Hello and welcome to episode 189 of the 77 Club. Harry, start with socials.
The Wall 77 Club on Facebook and Instagram, at 77 Club Podcast on Twitter, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. Please subscribe, rate, and tell a friend.
Excellent. And Jack Williams is here.
Hi, everybody.
No Bayliss this week. He's on holiday. Bit of a weird podcast, probably something that we wouldn't normally do if there was a break in the action, but it seemed right to, I suppose, talk about this upcoming game, which obviously against Burnley with no manager. But let's have a look at the weekend's results first. Harry, is Europe back on again? Have they got us believing? Do we want to waste our breath?
Well, yeah, I think you've got to get your hopes up again a little bit, but I think the only the only downside is our game in hand is Man City, isn't it? So it's very unlikely we're going to win that. But even if we don't win that, we're still in a great position, aren't we? But it is mad, isn't it, this season, how we keep quote unquote bottling it, really. Let's be honest. We do. We've had so many opportunities to claw ourselves into the top six and we let ourselves down, but then we keep getting more opportunities. So every week, man, it seems like we're just yo-yoing opinions, but I think we've still got a chance to do it.
Jack, was it West Ham drew against Burnley, Liverpool smashed Man United midweek, Southampton beating Arsenal, Leicester put to bed by Newcastle. They're really ones that can catch us. But are you starting to believe as well? Because it was like, I can't believe the results are going to go our way again. And that's the second week running as well.
I'd start to believe if we were playing a bit better and had a bit more squad depth, because it's all right, these teams keep dropping points, but if we don't take advantage, then it's kind of meaningless, really, isn't it? I just keep looking back to those 5 points against Leeds. The Leeds game is the one that sticks in everyone's head, because that was just where we just shot ourselves in the foot, didn't we, really? We were absolutely dominant in that game, and if we hadn't got this man sent off, we probably would have won 4-0, I'll be really honest. So, yeah, just missed opportunities all the time, isn't it? Every time we sort of think, like, Newcastle was a good opportunity, really. We just didn't turn up. Granted, we had the injuries. It just seems to keep coming round. And it's one of these where if we miss out on Europe, or even a top 6 spot by a point or two, we'll look back and we'll be able to say exactly, really, it's our fault because we've had these opportunities. And the way it's going for the last few weeks, I've sort of said I think it's going to be a straight shootout between us and West Ham for 7th place, and it's going to be a case of who has the picks up the most points in the running, really. Obviously, them dropping points to Burnley is all well and good, but we've now got to go and beat Burnley, otherwise it doesn't count, really. It's Burnley are always a bit of a weird team for us, aren't they? It's a strange one. But also, watching the Man United performance last night, you're kind of thinking they've got a tough few games coming up as well, and maybe we can catch them again.
Imagine.
Maybe that's still on the cards, really. But bottom line, we've got 3 fixtures out of our tough running, which have to be bankers, really. And that's against Brighton, against Norwich, and the game on Sunday against Burnley. And we need maximum points from them, and probably also to get something from one of the other 3 games as well, which we're capable of doing. We know we are capable of doing because we've done it in the past against the big boys, but I think you'd be looking more at the home game against Man City or the away game at Chelsea, to be honest, to get anything from. Because we haven't got a great record against Liverpool, have we, since we come up? This is the only team who just seem to do us all the time. No. Even in 94-minute Origi just pops up for his only bloody appearance of the season. So it's still on, but really, we should be comfortably in a European spot by now, because we've just dropped those points. Really, we should be still talking about Champions League football, if I'm brutally honest. But I think a lot of it does come down to the squad depth, because we've been saying it for the years, and it's just coming home to roost in it now. We're seeing it in action, where we've got to start teenagers in the running. So
teenagers with bad attitudes, it seems. Harry, would you agree with that? Do you think it's realistically only West Ham that are catchable, but stranger things that can happen, and Manchester United could finish 8th?
Yeah, obviously West Ham is the obvious one, but like Jack said, after watching them against Liverpool and the really bad feeling in amongst the fan base and the club, it seems, I think we could overtake Man United as well if, like Jack said, we win the 3 and get something out the other one. But I said a few podcasts ago, we've just got to keep plodding along, try and not let the pressure get to us, which it always seems to get to us. And we're going to talk about Burnley in a minute. It's a tough start, isn't it? I know Sean Dyche is left, but it's a tough place to go. And if we don't win that, I think our fan base will be all depressed again.
When we look at Arsenal, Jack, because they're level on points with United, but they've played 2 games fewer. However, they've got Chelsea away, and that's well, that'll be out of date by the time this comes out. But then they've got Man United at home, West Ham away, Leeds at home, Tottenham away, Newcastle away, and Everton at home. So mixed bag for them as well, isn't it, really?
From what I've seen, I don't think any team has a very, very easy run in. Ours is bad, but West Ham's is bad as well. And we've said that, and you obviously just said Man United's there. So it's going to be, there's going to be a few twists and turns. I think one thing that might be in our favour is that if it comes down to between us and Man United for 7th, is they think they're above Conference League football. So arguably won't want it, will they? They want it, won't want it because it's a distraction next time. Whereas we just want to go and get absolutely hammered in bloody Armedia or wherever. So we'll take anything, and that might come into it. You know, they might think, let's not bother with the Conference League. It's going to be a rebuild in the summer. It's got to be because they're changing their manager. You've already heard that players are unhappy and are leaving. So maybe it's an unwanted distraction for them, and they might not be motivated towards the end of the season. But watch them last night; they're on the beach already, aren't they? They've had enough. I think they're done. So.
And
we'll have to
Harry, I suppose with one of those games, the next game against Burnley is a must-win. I don't think there's any other way to describe it. I don't think we've won at Turf Moor since 2010.
Wow, is that the stat? Jesus. And we obviously had that famous game where we bottled it, didn't we? The Doherty incident.
The Doherty volleyball, Jack Williams hates him for it.
Yeah, well, let's look. We know Burnley is famously a tough place to go, although there has been a few games I've watched this season where they haven't been the same Burnley. Saying that, when we played them at Molineux, that 0-0, they just organised, wasn't they? And with the new manager stuff, well, obviously got a caretaker manager in at the moment. I was a bit worried when he got sacked because I thought, oh no, they're going to have one of those late surges that teams famously have when they change manager. And I know it hasn't gone down well in the fan base either. The fact they've got rid of Dyche, he's like a god there, isn't he? So
strange call.
Still, yeah, definitely. I think he was definitely the man to probably keep them up. And I think Wilder's favourite. But you would assume that they'll still have no manager and we go there. And look, they know exactly what to do, don't they? So they're going to make it really tough for us. And I just hope we don't do what we did at Newcastle. I hope, even though they're going to be set up well, I hope we can attack. And by the looks of it, I don't know if Neves will be back, but there's those pictures, isn't there, of him in training. Yeah. He probably won't be, but he can't be far off. But Dendoncker should be back, hopefully. So we've got the personnel to break them down and beat them, but we couldn't do it at Molineux. But we have to do it this time, as mentioned.
Jimenez is back. He's available, Jack. Does he go straight back into the side? Did Silva do enough against Newcastle? Probably not. But arguably did it against Villa.
That's a difficult one, that, isn't it? I think for this game, I would bring Jimenez back in. Yes. I know Fabio was a bit non-existent against Newcastle, but so was everybody. So I wouldn't really blame him for that. But I think with this, Burnley, tough physical team, I think I probably would. The key thing I think we need to do, though, is remember that Burnley, they really need to win this game, or else I think they've had it. They'll be looking at this, the game, at home game, where they're 3-4 points behind Everton now. They have to win this game, so they have to come and attack us. And you think if we play football against them on the break, we should beat them. If we've got a decent side out, we should beat them. So what I don't want us to do is go and play bloody 3 in midfield. We need to go. We've got to go, and we've got to put the wingers out if they're fit. If Podence is fit, he's got to play. If Neves can give. Neves and Neto can even give 45 minutes. You'd arguably think about bringing them in, really. I don't particularly know what to do with Hwang, really. I don't know what to say there. But if I think we'd have to probably start Podence and Trincao, maybe. And I'd be happy with that if we just play 2 in the middle, and whether that's Neves if he's fit, or if not, if it's Moutinho and Dendoncker. Straight away, that team looks so much better than it did against Newcastle, doesn't it? So I think it'd give us a chance. But massive game, this. We've got to win this. Otherwise, it's just going to be the season that could have been, I think.
Must win for both sides. So, Burnley are 3 points behind Everton, and they have played a game more. So, interesting. Nelson Semedo, Harry, can't get back in the side.
Yeah, I think we've said Johnny can't be dropped. He can't be. So, unless they switch Johnny to left wing back, which probably won't happen, he's got to stay patient, hasn't he? And if an opportunity does come for him to come on late on in the game or come in for a Johnny injury again, I can't see him getting back in. It'd be interesting to see if he actually sticks around next season. Because I know there's been talk online that other teams might be interested in him. If he thinks, hold on, I've come in for this big fee, he's had a good season, which we'd all agree with, and all of a sudden he has an injury, Johnny comes in, and is he all of a sudden choice number 2 at right wing back? Can't see him being happy with that. So unless he gets reassurances from Bruno, we might see him move on. But for me, I'd switch Johnny to left wing back in the future and have him right wing back, but we'll see what happens.
It's only because of Semedo's injury that he's there anyway.
Johnny's injury,
he was right wing back taken over from Semedo and Hoover, obviously having an absolute nightmare. But then he's popping up with the odd goals that are winning games.
Yeah, you can't take those goals out of the team because he's been really good lately, hasn't it, Johnny? I agree. I'd like to see them try both in the same team because there's no doubt they are. Aït-Nouri's obviously young and lacks a bit defensively, but offers more going forward. So yeah, I'd like to see it tried. Really, it could potentially be the future. The thing with Semedo moving on though is, are we really going to get our money back? You think with that?
No.
Probably not 35 million, are we? Like, you can probably take 15 million off that straight away to even have a chance of getting that recruitment. So I'd like to keep him, really. He's been great this season. And the only reason he's at the team now is because Johnny's come back in and done so well. And that's what we need. We need competition for places for quality players. We don't need suddenly, let's
can't lose anymore.
ship them off and get a teenager in as cover, because we've seen it doesn't work, does it? So, but I wouldn't, again, let's try them both in the same team. And it works with the feet, doesn't it? So,
Harry, is it Kilman, Cody, Bolly?
Yes, I'd stick with that, to be honest. We mentioned Sage hasn't been the best since his AFCON return. So, I don't see why it wouldn't be that. Although, you've got to think back to the Newcastle game where Kilman did sloppily give the ball away for the goal that wasn't, for the one that got ruled out by VAR. So, he had a bit of a shaky game, I thought, Kilman. I thought Bolly was decent against Newcastle's, but still, that's the three that are the strongest for me. So I'd stick with that, definitely.
Let's do a score prediction, Jack.
Oh God, I don't know. Really, this is difficult, isn't it? It could be bloody 4-0 Burnley.
Don't.
I like to think we're going to grind it out, and it will, just to keep the hope going, if nothing else. I think it'll be close. It'll be a scrappy game. But let's go 1-0 Wolves and be optimistic.
1-0 Wolves, optimistic from Jack. Harry?
Just before I answer this, Dean's put in the comments, Harry, are you going to the Barcelona game Sunday? So I am on a stag do, so I'll be watching this in Barcelona. But Dean, I'll be trying to watch the Wolves game in a pub. I know the Barcelona game's on a night, and I'm flying back on the night, so I won't be. But my score prediction is from Estrello Escofio, where I'll be watching it. I don't know if that's a pub name, but we'll go with it. I think we're gonna grind out a 2-1 win. I think we're gonna do it.
2-1 win. Interesting.
Interesting. Have you seen what Roberto's put in the comments as well? I'm not. Any of you two know about this? I'll just get it up.
I'm curious why Donk was on my flight to Paris last week, 6 hours after the Newcastle game when he was ill.
If that's true, that is. Well, if he was just under the weather and then he wanted to go on holiday to Paris, I suppose it can't be COVID related. Well, I suppose it could be, couldn't it? Do you have to isolate when you get COVID now?
Not with, with COVID, I don't think he'd be able to fly. But if he said he was ill, didn't say COVID, so it could be something else.
He could have just been. What he does in his spare time, if he wants to go and visit the Eiffel Tower, he can do what he wants.
Well, he could feasibly drive back to Belgium from there, but it's not the easiest way to go, is it? But don't know. Strange one.
Go on.
No, do you think you'll be able to watch the football over there, Harry? Do they have all the games on TV on?
Well, I'm definitely. Well, we're watching the boxing Saturday night, so there's definitely going to be a sports bar there somewhere. But the only thing that makes me think it might not be on is there's free 2 p.m. kickoffs, isn't there?
It's not on Sky Sports. It's not on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so
if
not, I'll be finding. Yeah, well, obviously a very legal stream, a Spanish stream. But yeah, I'll.
El Streamio Dojo.
But the thing is that the lad, the lad, he's an Albion fan, the stag. So hopefully he'll let me. He ain't gonna want to watch it, is he?
It's better than that shite. Yeah. Let's get your latest betting odds and ticket news. I've got some bets actually. They literally just pulled them up on Bet365. So I'm not used to doing this, so I'm just going to reel some off. Yeah. They've got specials, which aren't very good, to be honest. Wolves to win 2-0 is 16-1. This seems really, really short. Trincao to score any time. Wolves to win over 2 goals in the match for both teams combined. How much do you think?
So Trincao to score any time. Wolves to win with 2
Wolves
goals
to win.
in the match.
Wolves to win. Over 2 goals.
Probably
45-1.
Yeah, 50s.
16-1.
16-1.
16.
Oh my god!
Wow. I mean, like what?
Yeah.
No.
Trincao don't score. Well, he has once, but
yep. That's the same as Jimenez to score first and Wolves to win.
Is 16 to 1
Much
as
more
well?
value. Much more value in that one. Much more likely to happen. Jack, have you got some ticket news?
I've got.
Did I buy you enough time?
Yeah, you did. Don't worry, I've got it open
Yeah.
now. Obviously, we're getting towards the end of the season, so there's fewer games left. So the home games, Brighton is all but sold out. Basically, the final home game of the season is against Norwich City, who will be a championship club by then. And that is on sale to the members as of tomorrow, actually, Thursday, the 21st of April. The away game on Burnley sold out quite a bit ago, but I do have the away ticket information for the Chelsea game, which is a 7th of May, 3 p.m. Saturday kickoff at Stamford Bridge. Luckily, we'll be able to go to this one because with all the restrictions that were brought in, we were a bit unsure at the time with all the Russian. What's the word?
Oligarch.
Dirty money.
Yeah. Sanctions is the word I was looking for, but sanctions. But you were both right. So it's currently on sale as we speak to the away season ticket holder, starting with the points tomorrow, actually, Thursday, the 21st of April again, 10 a.m., starting with 1,190 points. Looking forward to that, like a London away day, especially at Saturday, 3 p.m. Perfect.
Not the ones when you lose 4-0, though, which that will be.
When was the last time we won at Stamford Bridge?
I've got high hopes for that one, I think.
Based on...
That's the game we've got to be looking at to get something from if we're going to qualify for Europe, I think. Particularly when Brentford smashed them there a few weeks back. So
I forgot about that.
They're not untouchable.
Mm-hmm. Right, let's move on to, I suppose, transfer rumours, contract situations, form of loan players in other leagues. I'm talking about Adama Traore, John Ruddy, and Morgan Gibbs-White. Harry, we'll start with your Traore to Everton rumour. Do you think there's anything in it? I mean, they may well be in the Championship next season.
Exactly. So that's got. I mean, it's so funny because every week, the last 3 weeks we've come on. Week 1, it was Traore to Barcelona. Week 2, it was Traore to Arsenal. Now the new one is potentially Everton wanting, but like Jack's reaction there, they've got to stay up for a start. And I mean, I think we would sell him to Everton if they offered a decent amount, just because he's got a year left on his deal. Do you know what I mean? But would he want to go to Everton? Is that a step sideways? Is it a step down? Is it a step down?
Cool. Yeah, well, based on the position.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows what he wants at the moment, to be honest.
He wants to go to Barcelona, doesn't he?
I think he wants to go to Barcelona, but the problem is they're skint. And as you said last week, he's not been playing him. So what's best for his career, really? I can understand why he want to go to Barcelona, because if he tears it up, he's virtually guaranteed a spot in the Spain squad, isn't he? Which he was on the fringes kind of with us, wasn't he? I know he was making the squad, but wasn't really playing again. So I don't know, really.
To be fair, though, since we last spoke, he has played an extra 12 minutes. So it's just not getting game time, is he? I suppose for their point of view, that they're doing what they need to do, and that's it. Like they're not looking to sort of force it through. Wolves saying, "Oh, look, he's played this amount of games. He's obviously helped you do this." They're sort of trying to do it without him.
It's kind of like every manager takes a look at him and thinks impact sub rather than starter. Don't they? Because that's what he is, isn't it? And that's when he offers the most excitement and the best part of the play. And that's not a bad thing to be. Like, obviously teams need that, don't they? But as I said, we're going to have lots of rumours about this, and I would just love him to come back. I would welcome him back with open arms if it doesn't work out. Just whatever you do, don't sell him to a Premier League rival, because we know what's going to happen. Just sell him to somewhere in Spain, somewhere in Germany, France, wherever. Who cares? But just don't let him go to a Premier League rival. The problem is that's where he's probably likely to get the most money in it. So unless he goes to Real Madrid, that's it really. So. But I can't see him go to Everton. Why was it like Everton is just a graveyard of potential talent, isn't it? It's like I don't know why
they just seem to ruin players.
We're going to have a lot of rumours like this, aren't we, in the build-up towards the end of the season? It's and obviously talking Wolves report, well, that's where I saw it, and they just pick up any rumours, don't they? So we'll see.
Bruno Lage potentially wants to give John Ruddy a new deal. I don't know if you've seen Ikemi back with the pack, which came out the weekend, which is sort of like behind the scenes with Ikemi training with the Wolves first team again. And I know it's probably selective in the editing, but he still looks sharp. It still looks decent. Did look out of place. Did he, Harry? I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I saw it.
The guy who was welcoming him in and showing him around and stuff was John Ruddy. You know, he's clearly effective and a good influence in the dressing room. You know, something we've said before.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That I know you said he looked a bit sharp in the training, which he is a good backup keeper. We've said before, but that's the main thing for me. His presence around the place. He's been there for quite long now, hasn't he? And he seems to have respect from everyone there. And I think that's probably why Bruno Lage wants to keep him. But for him personally, I'm sure he wants to play first team football, and I've read that he's willing to drop down to the Championship to do that. So, I mean, he's a good backup keeper. You definitely take him, wouldn't you, on to still be backup. But I personally think he'll move on to the Championship for someone.
Jackie's 35. He's about a month older than Matinho.
I think he'll stay, really. He seems quite happy and quite settled. And you have to remember, like, particularly when you get to the age of 30, 35, is that getting a decent paycheck. And obviously when you move club, you have to uproot your whole family, don't you? And it's quite a big thing in your personal life. And I'd be quite happy for him to stay, as long as he knows he's going to be number 2, and he knows that. He knows he'll get the odd cup game. And if we get into Europe, he probably won't play in the European competitions like happened last time. But if he wants to stay, I'm more than happy to, really, because you need a decent backup keeper, English as well, homegrown. That's the quota that sort of thing. So no problems with me if he wants to stay. And obviously, if Lage has seen that he's a good presence, then yeah, fair enough. The only thing is, like you say, he's coming to this point in his career. If he drops down a league or 2 leagues, he'll probably be able to play 2-3 more seasons being the first team starter. So it depends what he wants, isn't it? Some people want different things. Some people want stability in a paycheck. Other people want to go and just play football for the last few years they've got left. It depends on him as an individual, but
it's a step down, but it's a lot of games as well, isn't it? It's a lot of games you're playing, especially when you haven't been playing football very much at all for the last sort of 3, 4, 5 years.
I think the best job in football is to be a third choice top 6 goalkeeper.
Yeah,
because
Rob Green, Mark Schwartz, they all did it, didn't they?
It's brilliant. You're getting paid a lot of money, probably just to sit on a bus just in case one of the keepers gets injured in the war.
Who's the one at Man City? Is it Carson? Is it Scott Carson at Man City?
Scott Carson's at Man City.
The only reason they employ him is 1, for the homegrown rule, and 2, he's like best mates with their keeper, isn't he? They like get on like a house on fire, apparently.
Oh, really?
Even though he's like nearly 40, they just literally keep signing him for that reason, because he keeps him happy.
I didn't think about the homegrown quote. That's a good. It's Mark Schwartz at Chelsea. Yeah.
Mark Schwartz got back-to-back Premier League title medals without playing a game. One for Leicester and one for Chelsea.
That's a great quiz question. That's spot on. Another one, Morgan Gibbs-White, Harry. We said it would be his breakthrough season. We thought it would be for Wolves. It looks like it's going to be for Sheffield United. He was playing up front from on Good Friday.
Yeah, I mean, he's done well on each loan now, hasn't he? And we all get excited. It's been good for him to have this loan spell. Will he want to come back? Unless he's absolutely guaranteed to start and be a first team player, if I was him, I'd want to get back out on loan again or even move. I mean, I know Wolves fans want him because he's a talent and he's showing he's a talent. And a fair play to him, man, because he's put his head down and just gone on with it, hasn't he? And his reputation's a bit tarnished within the Wolves fan base, isn't it? He needs to come back, recover that if he does get a chance to start. But with all our options there, is that guaranteed? For me, I do think he'll move on again. I know I'm trying to sell everyone, but I think he might be moving on too.
32 games, 10 goals, 7 assists, Jack. Those are not a bad record at all, is it?
I mean, we definitely could have done with him the last few weeks. We had no players.
Him,
and he scored an overhead kick, didn't he? He scored an overhead kick the other night, didn't he? The thing is, though, reading through Sheffield United football Twitter, which I do like when Gibbs-White scores or something, I don't think they're all convinced by him. He's had it. It's not been like you get the people saying sign him up, but there's a few people who have been a bit more reserved, and I don't know if his performances have been necessarily that good lately by the look of it. It's kind of a 50-50 split. So I know we're looking at it and we see every time he scores a goal and every assist he gets, but some of them aren't convinced, I don't think. So to say he's tearing it up, I'm not quite sure. But then again, I haven't really watched any Sheffield United games, so I don't know. We need a Sheffield United fan to comment on that, really.
Well, they're 6th, aren't they? By a point. So Millwall 65 points, Sheffield United 66 points, Forest in 5th on 70 points, and it's obviously quite close to them apart from Fulham. But every chance to win promotion.
Yeah, I think the biggest transfer though, Sam. Sorry to move it on from Gibbs-White quickly. Is the Dendoncker to Lazio one we saw earlier.
What a class rumour that is.
20 to 25 million euros. Dendoncker to Lazio.
Maybe he's going to PSG. No. Maybe that's what it was.
Look, I mean, we missed him like mad, didn't we, against Newcastle? And he's another one who has his critics off the Wolves fans, especially this season. Which, let's be honest, some of his performances have been poor. Apart from probably Villa and what was that away game? Spurs away. But 20 to 25 million for him. Jesus Christ. I mean, if that's true.
What did we pay for him? I can't remember now.
12 million, was
13,
it?
12,
Yeah,
13
something
million.
around that sort of
But
price.
I know he's getting paid quite a lot in wages because he was quite hot property at the time we bought him. So I think he's one of the near the highest paid players. I think he's on like 75 grand a week. So yeah, I mean, if you want to get him off the wage bill, then potentially, but we can't talk about selling players at the moment until we've actually bring players in.
Exactly.
So we can't. One of our midfielders is like nearly 36 next year. So like,
who's also leaving?
Who might also be.
I know this needs to sign your deal, doesn't it?
If Neves goes as well, then we're just going to play with nobody field. What are we doing?
Yeah.
It seems like times this season.
Kundal was tearing it up for the under 23s, wasn't he? Did he get 2 goals the other day? So we get Kundal.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I watched a bit of that actually. I watched the game at Molineux because I played Newcastle at Molineux, the under 23s, and that fullback, Bruno, I think it says Bruno or something.
Yeah, he played pre-season, didn't he?
Yeah, he's decent. Times, he definitely caught my eye. I think he scored as well, actually. So yeah. But
that's not what we need, is it? You've got Mosquera, Toti Gomez, since. But there you go. Just finally, before we move on to Harry's special bit of the week, which we don't know what it is, Chelsea will play Arsenal in Orlando in July. So, do you think it's possible that it will be a July pre-season involving a core of Premier League teams in Orlando, Harry? Do you think it will happen? And I mean, is there a Disneyland in Orlando? And that's yes. Your get into jail free.
Yeah. Bring Stanley with me. Now, well, it all depends on whether we qualify for Europe, isn't it? I think you'd imagine whether that even happens at all. Us doing that USA thing that's been touted, so we will be there then.
I think isn't the whole point of this Conference League thing though the fact that you don't have to go for the stupid qualifying anymore. So I think if we get in, we'll just be. Yeah. I think that's one of the positives rather than starting the Europa League qualifiers in bloody June or whatever we did last time.
I think Harry's talking about Champions League qualifiers, aren't you,
Harry? yeah. Well, just on the Conference League, I know we've said we'd like it because it's got some rogue destinations and like mad places, but I'll be honest, I've never really been a fan of it. But watching a bit of it the last few weeks or so, I'm starting to. It's getting my juices flowing a bit. Imagining Wolves in it. It's
like any of these tournaments. Once you get to the last 8, there's no mugs left. Like you're playing well-known teams. It's like Marseille and these sort of teams that and PSV, Leicester had like. Definitely get well on board with that. With the pre-season thing, Sam, is that a tournament they're playing in Chelsea, or is that just a one-off?
It looks like it's an exhibition match.
So not necessarily then, but I mean, they put the feeler out, didn't they? They put the feeler out. So it wouldn't surprise me if we go to America. And I think if we do, it will be Texas or the Mexican border or somewhere in Mexico potentially, because it's the whole Jimenez factor, isn't it? So, one of these states there on the border.
Isn't oh my god, I forget the club now. Another transfer rumor. Raul Jimenez was linked with
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich. Yeah, we discussed that.
Lewandowski leaves.
Yeah, and again,
nonsense.
Can't see it. Yeah, so just on that play you was on about. Is it Bueno? That's what Bueno. That's the one. Yeah, it's like the chocolate bar.
That's it. Yeah,
kinda.
In terms of Conference League, Jack, to answer your question there, Leicester, Roma play each other. Feyenoord, Marseille. Those are the semi-finals. So, like even before that, I mean, you sort of had a few farmers in there, but yeah, PSV obviously.
Someone Wolves FI put a comment. He's put a massive paragraph, but essentially, we need top 7, don't we? Even if some mad things happen, just to get that.
There's a lot of misinformation that's gone around about this, and some of it's actually come from the Athletic, and they've got it wrong.
Or they got it wrong. That's not like that, is it?
So we can't qualify for Europe unless we finish 7th. That's the bottom line. It doesn't matter who wins the Conference League or who wins the Europa League and these sorts of things. We have to finish 7th to get a European place. We can't get more than 8th. That's it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, got
to pip someone to it. It's Harry's special moment of the week.
Actually, sorry, just saying that. But the fact that Palace got knocked out the cup the weekend means 7th will get Europe. That's it now. It's just done. Yeah,
we'll get it. So before we go on to the quiz, because I've got a quiz again, don't all turn off yet. Did anyone see? I didn't tell you about this, did I? I said I was going to say something, but I didn't tell you what it was. Did anyone see that video of previous ex-Wolves player, the daddy, doing penalties with that young fan?
Yeah, I did.
On the ground. And it made me think. I thought, great, obviously great to see things like that you wouldn't see, would you, 20 years ago, because no one had smartphones. But I thought that was brilliant. But what made me think is, where's the weirdest place you've ever bumped into a Wolves player?
So when
Alex Ray, I was thinking of you, Jack.
Alex Ray.
Oh no, Colin Cameron.
Colin
Cameron.
Yeah, remember that?
That was it. That was exactly it. So
Yeah.
when my ex-girlfriend's dad lived in a place not far from Kirkcaldy, which is in Fife. And when we went up there for the weekends, what we'd do is we'd go and watch East Fife. So the one day I went to an East Fife away game, actually, which was a local derby at Wraith Rovers. So it's Wraith Rovers, and we were against, and they played East Fife. Went to the pub before, and bloody Colin Cameron stood there. And I was like, but obviously he came through the academy and that at Wraith, so he's a big Wraith fan. And so yeah, that was in a. God knows. I mean, there was about 30 people at the game. I don't know there, but one of them was probably Colin Cameron. But
I remember we just started doing the podcast and you sent the picture through. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
I did. Yeah. And so that's the weirdest place. I wasn't really expecting it, but when you thought it through, it made sense, sort of thing. Yeah.
I mean, for me, I suppose it's not weird because we sort of went there to see him. But I mean, being on the pitch after a Colorado Rapids game, interviewing Jack Price when I'm absolutely steaming.
He was sound as well, wasn't he? Like,
yeah, he was great. And actually, they were really good with us because we sort of said, "Oh, we do a podcast and blah blah blah," and then they were like, "Oh yeah, come this."
They were like, "Oh, you're Wolves Fancast."
No. We were like, "Yeah."
Let us on. Oh, go on, sorry, carry on, mate.
But yeah, it was just strange because I think we had our Ikemi tops on because they just come out in special edition ones. I think he'd sort of picked out of the crowd as well as the powers that be at the club that had sort of had said something to him. But yeah, that was strange.
I mean,
talking of Ikemi, was I with you two when we were on the train with him on the way to Wembley? I know it's going to a Wolves game, so it's not really strange.
No, because I was already here. I would live down here.
Oh, he's already there. Yeah, so we sat with Ikemi on the way to the dreaded semi-final.
Oh, I think I remember you saying that actually.
Yeah. What was you going to say, Jack? Sorry, before
just say the best thing about that Jack Price interview is the fact that even before the game, we were hammered, weren't we? We were throwing water over each other while talking to the press people. We were that bad. And they still let us on the pitch. It's like mental.
I've got to see if I've still got that interview. It must be somewhere.
I've still got the shirt. I've got Jack Price's shirt under my
bed. Oh yeah, he gave you a shirt, didn't he? Yeah, bloody hell. That smelt, didn't it?
I did. It was about 32 degrees. I don't know how they played a game of football in it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some. I asked you the question, but I didn't even thought about a few myself. Andy Much in the Bolton away end, but that ain't strange as it's a Wolves game. I remember I sent you the picture for the other day, and it turned out Jason Guy was in the background behind me before I even knew he was.
Okay.
Strange. Yeah, I messaged him.
I saw that. Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, it was me." And the one I mentioned the other week, John Daly and Tiger in Newcastle. Apart from that,
Sam and I met Jody Craddock in
Tribe.
In Tribe, yeah, the worst nightclub in Kidderminster.
I served Jody Craddock when I used to work at Sports World or Sports Direct when I was a teenager. I served him in Sports Direct in Kidderminster. There's one. You just reminded me.
There you go.
That's it. I bet you. I bet if you really thought about it, there'd be more. And I bet you people who are listening have got great ones that they are randomly bumping into Wolves players. I can't think of like a mad random one. There we go. Move on if you want.
That's a good question. If anyone's got any good ones, drop us a message and we'll read it out this week.
No, it is a good one, but I can't think. Sam, you're trying to find that interview, aren't you?
Give us a sec. I'm going to get the shirt.
Oh my god! I think I just found it on my phone.
Oh my god, that's
the Jack Price interview. I'll have to dig that out for next week and actually play it properly. But
yeah. It'd be on one of the podcasts on it from back in the day as well.
I mean, put it this way: there's one that's 49 seconds long and one that's 43 seconds long, so it wasn't the longest interview.
You better listen to them before you play them out though, so that you're slurring your words on there.
100%. I remember doing it. He looked at me and was like, I don't know if that was a question.
Yeah.
He just like, oh, there it is. See?
There it is. People
Sorry if you're listening. If you're listening on the Jack's holding up Jack Price's Colorado Rapids Wolf shirt from.
Better play for him to give him that. Oh, hold on. Yeah, it's the someone in the comments put they saw Donk on a flight to Paris. There's one random one.
There you go. Yeah.
I remember as well. You know Charles Priest, don't you, lads?
Yeah.
Yep.
She said she when she worked for Ryanair, I think, as an air hostess, she was on there one day. Right on the front row was Michael Kitely. That's a good one. Anyway, shall I go on to the quiz?
Yes.
Oh, please.
Yeah, so this week there ain't like a solid topic. It's just completely random. So I hope you're ready, and it's a bit harder than last week as well. So it's just you two versus each other. Sam is first, and Sam, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're gonna love this. You're not. I need to find the questions first. There we go. There we go. We got them. Right. Don't moan at me as well, because some of them are a bit crazy, but we'll just go with it. Right. Question 1. Which Wolves player who shares his full name with a comedian signed for them in 2013 and has since played for Bradford City, Sheffield United, and Wigan Athletic?
Say that again. Sorry.
Which Wolves player who shares his full name with a comedian signed for them in 2013 and has since played for Bradford, Sheffield United, and Wigan? An ex-Wolves player.
His first name's the same as a comedian.
No, but his whole name.
If you don't get this, I'll be shocked.
Lee Evans.
Oh, he's got it. I thought you were going to get that then. That's a good easy one. Yeah. Well, Chubby Brown. Oh, brilliant. Right, Jack. Quiz 2. I'm all over the place this week. Wolverhampton Wanderers have the longest name of any club to have won the FA Cup. Who has the shortest?
Berry.
Wow, straight in.
That's right. That was
I thought that was a hard question.
First thing that came to my head.
Well done. Back on you, Sam. It's 1-1. Bloody hell. Who is the only man with... Right, you know what this means, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So I'm going to have to explain what it means if you don't. Who is the only man with a palindromic surname to play for Wolves? So like Hannah.
Palindromic.
Yeah.
You get that, yeah?
Same, yeah.
There's only one person who's ever had a palindromic name.
That's a question, that is.
Oh my God.
That's a horrible question, that is.
And obviously it's just their surname, and like Hannah.
Oh, it's their
just
surname.
their surname. Yeah.
Just their surname.
You can say his full name if you want, but just need his surname.
Would we know the player?
Yeah.
What era are we talking?
Yeah, I'll give you this little clue because it's a tough one. So it's like Kenny Jackett-ish era, around that like early teens years. Yeah, Kenny Jackett.
No, I don't know. Pass.
Do you want to have a guess, Jack?
It's a hard thing to guess, isn't it? Because no,
I think you'll be like, oh, it's Shea Ojo. Remember him from Liverpool?
Ojo. Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah,
Right.
There you go. You crap. Nah, that is a tough one. I thought it was just a really good question, though.
Yeah, it's a good question.
If I do say so myself. Who scored his first goal for Wolves in a 2-0 home win over Crystal Palace on the 20th of July 2020?
That was Aït-Nouri.
That was not.
What? He scored against Palace, did he? Was that not the wrong year?
Wrong game. It was Pedence.
Oh.
I think Aït-Nouri did as well, didn't he? But was that not the year before?
He definitely scored his debut against Palace, but it must have been the wrong game.
So it's 2-1 to Jack. Oh, no, you didn't get that right, did you? So it's still 1-1. Sorry, Sam. I'm doing you short here. Right, this one for Sam. On the 14th of September 2019, Wolves were beaten 5-2 at Molineux by Chelsea. Which visiting player got 3 goals and an own goal for Chelsea that day?
Tammy Abraham.
Oh, that was an easy one. Sorry, Jack. Just the way it falls, isn't it?
Easy when you know it.
Easy when you know it. Oh, this one is quite easy as well, Jack. So,
no pressure.
Which Wolves player started all 38 league games in the club's first season back in the big time of the 2018-2019 season?
Well, it's either Cody or Patricio, isn't it? And I'd assume it's Cody. Cody.
Yeah.
It is Cody.
Ruddy started against Cardiff, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
We lost
Good
that.
shout. So now we're getting on the last 2 questions. Because obviously, remember when he let us down last week, Mark Matthews?
Oh, no, yeah.
These last 2 were just off the top of my head, but as you'll notice, I've been quite lazy with it. So, Sam, who scored our first goal in the 2-1 away win at Slovan Bratislava, where we turned up as school teachers?
God, you can't bring up games where we've been on the piss for 2 days.
Oh, you shouldn't. That's a tough question.
The first
think of
goal.
it, Sam.
Says.
Yeah, Oh, there we go.
Well done, mate. I
in off
didn't
the
know
post
that.
for it, I think.
He was
Right,
like,
him
it was like
and
a scuffer, wasn't it? We didn't see
Yeah.
it, did we? 'Cause we were too. No, we did. We've been school teachers, haven't we?
We were there.
Um,
Rascal tops.
Jack, from the same game, this is to level it up, and I haven't got a tiebreaker, so I hope you get it wrong.
I just said
Who
it. And I
got-
don't think you heard me.
What did you say?
I think I said it, but I don't think he heard. Is it who scored the other goal?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. No, fair.
God, it ain't that easy, is it? Who got sent off that day?
Jota.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Straight in there. I
Well,
thought that
it
was
was-
It happened right in front of us, to be fair.
Yeah.
It was literally right there. He was on about 30 seconds when he got sent off.
Yeah.
Yes. I ain't got a tiebreaker. You both draw. 3-3.
Look at that. Happy days.
All right, I'm fine with that.
Oh, no, you didn't
Okay
get every
with that.
question right, did you?
Didn't get
No,
one.
you both got one wrong. So we're getting better at the quizzes. That one
Getting
week,
better,
you were
yeah.
all awful.
Oh, yeah. Terrible.
It is better when you do questions that aren't from 1894.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I'm
slightly
running out,
easier.
though. This Mark Matthews book's running out of materials. So
Someone
Just
buy
a
Harry
sa-
a new quiz book.
Saul, Better Call Saul, Saul Phillips, and Matt Doherty in Riley's Bar on Broad Street. He met him.
Right. Yeah.
There you
Good
go.
program. Did you watch Better Call
Yes.
Saul? Any of you? No.
Is there a new series
yes,
out? I
yeah.
didn't- Yeah.
It's the
Bit
final
slow,
season.
bit slow.
I'm actually rewatching Breaking Bad at the moment.
Oh my God, really? I've only ever watched
Yeah.
that through once. Did you
Yeah.
watch the extended one when it was about Jesse?
No.
Can't remember the name of it, but they did like a feture film a few years ago
No, I've not seen that. No.
about what happened to Jesse after the series. Anyway, this is off
a great
topic.
conversation.
Sorry.
Right. Well, look, next week I'm definitely going to play that Jack Price interview, and I won't edit it so everybody could laugh at the contents of it, because from what I do remember, it was abysmal.
Yeah.
So otherwise, we'll say goodbye to Harry Mansell.
Yeah, and I'll let you all know I'll get on in Barcelona. And
Oh yeah, good luck with that. It's goodbye to Jack Williams,
Come on, Wolves. Make or break.
and it is a goodbye from me. Goodbye.
Goodbye.